These photos were taken in the hills behind Ikamatua, up in the Grey Valley and at Rough River. Dad used to go out with the Rugby boys, Dougie and Donnie, and with Claudie Downs, and they'd go out shooting, take a weekend, stay overnight, camp out. So most of these are views from way up the back in the Grey Valley. There's the Robbie boys. That's, I would think it's Jimmy standing there, and very soon you'll see Jimmy's climbed to the top of that rock. It's either Jim or Don climbed up to that rock, and there's a photo of them up there. That's looking down on one of the tarns up there that they used to go up in that area quite regularly. Looking down into the valley in the grey. Snore. I don't know that they always used to bring the deer meat out. There's a photo later on of Dad bringing a deer out, but I know that they used to get the wild pigs as well. So I think there was plenty of meat around in those days if they brought the meat home and shared it out. One of the Robbie boys. There's Don and Doug. Doug was only about 14 and Donnie would be a bit older. That's Darky and Bronzy, the dogs. And yeah, so they used to just love going out with Dad. It was a highlight of their weekend. They're quite young to be going out.
Quite young, don't they?
Yeah, I'm sure that they said that Dougie was only 14, yeah. And that's Jimmy on the left. So that's the three Robbie boys, just having a bit of brotherly fun. Yeah, that's your father. Yeah, that's Mummy Robbie and my mum. And this is out at Boggawalla on the old Clee tractor. Jimmy doing a bit of dancing, trying to get some weight on it. And I think it had just arrived on the farm. So that was
a big unveiling.
Yeah, big unveiling and just showing what it could and couldn't do. This is back up at Waiuta, just in front of Dad's shop. And I think the littlest top there is me. This is chopping. They had a lot of chopping between Waiuta, Blackwater, Ikamatua, Nelson Creek, all down the country areas. They'd have their weekend chops and doing that. My father did a lot of chopping, but you see Dad, when he chopped, he always had white trousers on, so that's how I knew it was Dad. And with the chopping, and he was a champion. I've got quite a lot of his medals at home. That's not Dad, even though there's the white trousers. But they used to get great attendances at the sports meetings. Yeah.
It looked like it was one of the main events.
Yeah, one of the main events. Not quite sure who that is, whether that's Keith Kent taking a movie photograph there. It's amazing when you think that these photos were taken between 1936 and 1939. Yeah. So they're quite old, aren't they? Yeah. This is the jigger board if anyone doesn't quite understand the jiggerboard chop, they have to put their slits in the wood, put their slats in for jumping on, and then climb up and chop the piece of wood in half right up at the top. It's Nick Hampton. He chopped with Dad an awful lot, so
Yeah.
no, that's somebody getting the log ready. This is that actually looks like Dad, but he's not in the white trousers. He used to do the jiggerboard. He's standing on a slat. He's made another slat. His axe goes up, the slat goes in, and he jumps up onto the next slat, and up. They take their slats up with them.
Fairly dangerous occupation.
It doesn't
For a
look,
hobby.
Yeah, and then they do one side and then they've got to go all the way down and do it on the other side again. And I don't know why the name jiggerboard came up, but that's Nick Hampton from Ikamatua. Big strong muscles and no gyms for getting the muscles either. It was just good hard work.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want to be too close to the bottom when the top come off.
No.
Yeah.
So you're pretty confident in your...
You had to trust yourself completely because putting those slots in. This is the greasy pig. I used to have the greasy pig. They'd oil the pig or grease him, and then everybody would run after him. Whoever caught him kept him. But I don't know who caught the pig or whether it got away.
I like this chap.
Yeah, this chap. I don't know who he was, but he used to come home from the pub and come and stand outside, and he's saying to Dad something. Mum said he would be saying, "Hello, how are you?" And he's talking to Mum over the fence there. But you see him later on, comes up to the red hut, and he paces himself. This is Tim White. He's still alive. He lives in Waiuta, in Reefton, and he was the butcher boy. He's in the grocery, worked for hemp seeds. So this is a great old snowfall up in Waiuta.
Is it ever?
Yeah, a good snowfall. Yeah. And that's my cousins, Janice and Mary Coulson, my uncle. Made the little sledge and he's putting them on. And he's going to take them for a ride on the sledge. Yeah. Yeah, I can
Is
remember
that the road?
it. Yeah.
Oh.
I can remember it freezing over and you couldn't get down the hill. It was so cold. And yeah. I used to have what they called the backyard chop, and anyone could go in and have a go at the backyard chop. But it's a wonder there weren't more limbs cut off or toes or... that's my father chopping there.
Oh, okay.
For our grandchildren or our children looking at it, that's your grandfather and your great-grandfather.
Oh.
Yeah, quite. That's Mick Brett doing the commentating. They were quite up to date with their microphone, and they used to have all the races: the married men's race, the single men's race.
Oh.
This is the Coconut Shy, and that's Eddie Stankham and Bob Morrissey. Getting him closer, all the old things that they used to have in those days, and they'd all be running in the races. They'd all have a go at them. Red huts are on the background. This is the cross-cut sawing, of course. That's my father, and I'm not sure who's with him, but he used to saw with his sister in the Jack and Jill. And they were champions at that too. So I don't know who that was. There's Jimmy Robbie. Having a chop.
Right.
Yeah.
Who filmed Fred?
I think Mick Brett might have done it for him. I never asked Mum whether she did any for her. I don't think she did. But I think Mick Brett might have done a wee bit for her. These are all on handicap. You can see them all starting off at different times.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Dad. No grips on, just sand shoes. No grips on the spikes. Yeah. This is all taken at the Rec and at the sports ground at Waiuta. We used to call it the Rec or the Recreation Ground. And this is the pillar fight. Bob Morrissey, and I'm not sure who it is with the back to us, but Vic Adams. Yeah.
Was this all originally taken on those little 4-minute films
I'm not sure.
and joined together?
Yeah, could have been.
They used to be quite.
That's Bill Gidley. It was Bill Gidley.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You know Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Looked like Nick Hampton, I'm not sure. And this is a colour film that Dad had given to him, and he was out shooting with the Rugby boys again. Yeah. Claudie Downs in the centre. Yeah. The dog coming in. I think that might be Bronzy. Yeah, the spaniel.
Is that your dog?
It's our dog, yeah. Getting across the river. And back up into the hills again, taken with the colour. That sort of looks a bit like Baldy, taken from Waiuta, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's Claudie in the front, and the two Rugby boys in the back.
For hard-working people, they had put a lot of exertion into their time off as well,
Yeah,
didn't
they did. They were out, out in the hills and out shooting, and then their sports, and there was always plenty going on. Good clean drink of water. Yeah. That would be Dad during those. If that Bronzy's there, it would be Dad during those movies.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not sure whereabouts the hut is. Campfire. I don't know what they took to eat, but looks like one of the boys is in charge of the fire. That was probably half the fun, would have been cooking over a campfire and sleeping out. And,
yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Claudie always had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. Reading something, he's got some notes there. Wood pigeon and the trees there.
Yeah. Beautiful sort of landscape, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely area. All got their packs on their back. And there's the vehicles over the river, so there's Mummy Robbie.
Hiding away.
Yeah, she's to keep that up by her face, yeah. I'm not sure whether that's Waiuta or not, but this... I wouldn't know till I saw further back up at the... I'm still thinking of the chopping, that sort of come back into the fore again, hasn't it?
Yes.
There's a lot of chopping sessions on the coast now. and throughout New Zealand with them. There's the horses. The boys were getting ready to go out.
See Jimmy go past here.
Yeah, that's at Waiuta actually. That looks like them just leaving the store. Probably they were getting ready to go back out home if they were leaving the store, wouldn't they?
Okay.
Could possibly be going out to Boggawalla.
Yeah.
Like it's a road going out that way. The
It
old
looked
horse.
like that you had a ride.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the old horse that they had out on the farm was called Flash, but I don't think any of those are Flash. Fishing, they used to fish. That's Dad having a fish. Quite fast running, isn't it?
Very. Have you any idea where that is?
No. Only thing I can think of it's Jimmy is perhaps around Rough River area.
Okay.
Someone's getting the food ready, the tucker ready.
The filming that he did would have been pretty extraordinary, really, then, because
Yeah.
the expense and the cost
Yeah.
of films and developing
Oh,
and
absolutely.
the waiting time for developing and everything would be quite something.
And the other thing is, I never heard Mum say anything about his dad there too, about a projector to see the films.
Oh,
How
okay.
would, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. One of the boys up a tree there. Jimmy, I think. Jimmy often had the scarf around his neck.
Yeah.
Quite a big pack on their back too. They must have had some great weekends though. Yeah, just... That's Boggawalla, isn't it?
Yep, it looks like it. Early on, isn't it?
Yeah, very early on.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the steps coming up the Snowy Battery.
Oh, right.
There's about, what did Doug say on the Waiuta video, there's something like 120 steps. This is Dad's car. I don't know what sort it was, but that looks like yours truly sitting in the middle at the back. And I think they were going to Blackpool. That's Mum, and arriving in Blackpool. And we'll perhaps go on to some of our family ones. For all of you children, there's your nana, your mother and your grandmother there on the bike. Francis Mary Thorne. And that's someone else trying to hide a bit from Dad in the photos, Auntie Jean, Auntie Ada and Mum. This is back up at Waiuta. That's Ethel Stevens riding the bike, coming right up. She's not afraid of the camera. And this is a race meeting at Reefton, and I'm not sure when it was. I tried to to get them to find out in Reefton, but the ones that I spoke to weren't that worried about having, finding out about when these were, but it has to be between 36 and 39.
Yeah.
So Dad must have gone up to a race meeting. Auntie Jean and Mary McNichol eating cherries. Cherries off the cherry plum, I think. Yeah, that's Mary McNichol and me. Coming down the back section at home. Oh dear, having a little dance or a paddy, one or the other.
Looks pretty happy.
Mum filling the copper. Life was a wee bit different then, wasn't it? Dad sawing some wood.
Yes, I remember that.
Cutting wood.
He looked like he had a lot of practice at that.
I think he did have a lot of practice. He knew what he was doing, didn't he? Yeah.
Strong looking man.
Yeah, big fellow. He was 6 footer.
Yeah.
Quite very broad on the shoulders, and that's with Bronzy, the dog that he used to take out shooting with him a lot. And that's taken at the back of the house in Waiuta. And that's teasing Mary McNichol, my cousin. Yeah, Auntie Jean. And Auntie Jean is still alive. She's in a home in Blenheim. She's in her 80s now.
What's her?
Jean Ronke she was. She married one of the Ronkes from Blackwater.
Okay.
That's Ellen Coulson, my cousin.
Was she a hunter? Sorry, a pilgrim?
She was a Laberton.
Okay.
Auntie Jean was a Laberton, mum's sister. This is my granddad fishing on. I've got an idea it's around Cobden Way, but I'm not sure. This is back in Waiuta again. Auntie Jean and Mary, and it's coming along the bottom road. You can see the tram tracks. Someone on the bike. I'm not sure. And that's the middle track, coming down from Hocking's boarding house, and McGregor's shop, and the old hall are in the background. So that's in 1938, 39. Not sure who he is. One with his wheelbarrow. Auntie Jean, I'm not sure who that was either. Getting the photos out. And that's Percy Darby, going quick at Dad. That's the old engine taking the wood up to the sawmill. Acting the goat, Auntie Jean's got a tiff. And Jimmy Robbie. He must have annoyed her, so she stalked inside. It's Jimmy Robbie with me at Blackpool. I'm not sure it's Blackpool or Cobden. I've got to have a thought about that. My great uncle behind him, swatting butterflies, but
Nice.
that's my granddad going for a swim in the Cobden River.
Is it? What's his name?
He was Tom Lamberton.
Oh, okay.
Mum was one of 11 in the Lamberton family. Yeah, he used to like his swim.
Was that in Waiuta?
No, Cobden and Greymouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Grey River.
Yeah. The back, sort of the little back part, isn't the Graham up
I'm
there?
not sure where that is.
That's Mum's brother Arthur and Auntie Jean playing hockey. He was a hockey player in the road. It's Auntie Jean and Auntie Ada, the bathing bells, going in for a swim. And that's when the family lived in Cobden. Jimmy Robbie there again. So it seemed as if Jimmy was quite a part of our family, wasn't
He
it?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yours truly. Oh dear. I think those stones might be a bit hard on my little feet. Jimmy swatting butterflies, is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He always had that handkerchief round his neck. No, sort of neck protection there. That's Mum just laughing at him. They're laughing at the camera as well, I think. And my grandmother on the right and Auntie Ada, or Auntie Jean, yeah.
What's her name? Your grandmother's name?
She was Mary Lamberton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Married to the man swimming.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is just sailing on the boats on the Cobden, or on the Grey River.
Yeah.
Little yachts there. We're back out on the tops again. They picked their time at going out and they never went out when it was really cold by the look of it, did they? There's no snow on the tops or anything like that. They must have gone through tracks or areas that were well known, because, you know, don't say they ever got lost or anything, and
That's right.
they seemed to know where they were going and get the deer, and they always used to keep the heads, didn't they? Because there was a lot of them out at Bogawalla. They had them all around everywhere. They used them as hat racks, you know, coat holders and everything. Cutting the antlers off.
They could well be on there. For a hat like that.
Yeah. Look at the bullets.
Yeah.
He's got his, what do you call that around?
That's right.
It's Mummy Robbie. She used to giggle.
Yeah.
Now, this is probably one part of the last photos, because I'd definitely been in hospital with osteomyelitis and my legs bandaged.
Ah.
So I was over 3.5 at that time, and that's Darky, the dog. And he's frightened me because I got panicky. So that was, yeah. The dogs must have looked forward to their weekends out too, by the look of it.
They must have got a fair bit of running to do those trips.
They were work dogs, hunting dogs that they had. Yeah.
Have you any idea where these tarns are?
No, but in the Ghost Town Ball, the guy that David Sims, that he had this photo and this part's in it, and he went up and found that, and he's got it from then, and then in 1986 he went there again. He took a photo of it, coloured,
Yeah.
and he put the two together.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. And this one where it was partly, they had to finish it off. It was one that they'd shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the boys had plenty of trophies.
That's a big area, wherever it is.
Yeah, yeah. Because when David had the photo and it comes into the Ghost Town Ball, it's really pretty looking down on it, because it's in colour.
Yeah.
It is, it's really lovely. And I think now it's a lot more vegetation.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it seemed to be, you could pick the area, you knew very well it was the same area, but it just seemed as if there was more trees and that around.
Yeah.
Because from when those photos were taken, with Dad with the camera, and right up to 1986. It was quite a few years.
That's
So you
right.
take the say 40 odd years. So
That's right.
yeah, I think yeah. Sometimes Dougie was left at home, but he didn't like it this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Granddad Robbie. She took to her life, didn't she?
That's the grey.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the grey car.
That's Don driving.
Yeah. That's Tina. This is where she cuts the wood. And I think, oh my goodness me. I don't think cutting wood was a stranger with her, the way she just, the big act, look at it. You shudder now, don't you?
Yeah.
Tina, Margaret. She takes to her life. They were very shy. They had a really, there's the old horse flash. They had a real childhood over there where they'd come into school and then just go home and there was only themselves.
Yeah.
That's Dougie, isn't it?
I think it is actually.
Yeah, that's Doug and the old horse. Yeah. And the old Clee track. This is Christmas Day they talk about because he's got his paper hat on. And this part's in the Waiuta video.
That's right. Is that Jim?
Yes, that was Jimmy.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Well, he went away and was in the Air Force, wasn't he? Yeah. And Donnie was in the Army.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's Esma Mulligan, Bartlett, Esma Mulligan's father. Yeah. Yeah. So they're showing off how to use the old tractor. Apparently your grandfather had a bit of gold.
Oh, okay.
Dougie said he had a bit of gold and he'd been saving up and went and bought the Clee track.
Is that right?
Yeah. It had been down Antarctica, hadn't it? Wasn't that the story? Or yeah.
Be quite something after a horse.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Next day with mudguards on it.
Yeah.
Jimmy behind was the player. Yeah. Yeah, that's a priceless photo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going round with a paper hat on his head on Christmas Day. And then Mummy Robbie. Yeah.
So he's gotten used to the idea now.
Yeah, yeah. He always had his pipe.
Yeah.
Always the pipe just at the corner of his mouth there. He's going out to feed the dogs. Yeah. Oh. Tina. See, Tina's not that old there, is she?
No.
Like she probably, what, she'd be about 14?
She doesn't look very old.
She's not going to look him in the face. That's Dad. Would have been rabbit shooting. Oh no, it's not rabbits, it's birds, isn't it?
Ducks, though.
And ducks. Oh, yours truly got a new pair of gumboots.
Yeah.
Yeah, running along with my gumboots. Whoop, I spotted something. They got another deer. That's Jimmy, I think, on the left.
They're counting up the spikes for that.
Well, I think the more it had on it, they would bring it out.
Yeah.
If it was a good head, they'd bring it out. If it wasn't such a good head, they'd leave it.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Someone's having a snooze. Oh, the dog's coming in. Jimmy.
Bit of brotherly love going
Yeah,
on there.
bit of brotherly love. Yeah. The dog getting in the middle of it. Oh, that's condensed milk. I remember Mum saying about that. Into the condensed. Oh. Yeah, yeah.
That would be health food for you.
That'll be health food,
After
yeah.
a long walk.
Sugar. Sweeten them up. So they're bringing the head out.
I suppose they'd have to eat it or bring it back.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I often wonder if the boys went out shooting much after Dad died.
Yeah.
Be-
I don't know.
Because, you know, he was the one that took them out.
Yeah.
So I don't know whose car that is. What
Yeah.
is it? It could be Dad's, and then it's back up to the huts again.
So it's like a single men's accommodation.
Yes.
And they alternate each other's.
Yes, one would be,
Night shift or
yeah. There's a gentleman opening the car door. I think they might have been just going off the car more than the lady. That's Jimmy on the motorbike.
That's fairly exciting.
Yeah. I like his striped blazer.
It's fairly dashing.
And this is a hockey game, a game of hockey in Greymouth. So I'm the Indian hockey team and the West Coast, I'd say, and I'd say Mum's brother would have been playing in that. He was a brother and brother-in-law, because I think Uncle Arthur Lamberton was playing in it, plus George Swinburne.
I was quite surprised to see hockey being played actually.
Yes,
Back then.
they used to have a good hockey team. It must run in the family a bit, because both our daughters played hockey. Lynette played hockey and so did Angela. They both liked hockey.
Is that right?
Yeah. You don't see them visiting so much now, do they, playing? Yeah.
I see all the young children swarm onto the field.
Felt law looking for autographs
Yeah.
and that, yeah. Have to get off the field and wouldn't be allowed to do that now, would they?
No.
Probably wouldn't even come to Greymouth and had to play a game of hockey.
Very exciting for them to be able to film a lot of movement.
Yeah, yeah.
Very precious film in those days. It's
Well, yeah, now this is Mummy Robbie. Now, she used to pack a bag, that's what she would walk out the farm with that.
Is that right?
She used to have a pack on her, that she could put on her bag.
Yeah.
She was trying to hide from Dad. And she'd carry all that out, back out onto the farm,
Is that right?
just like that, yeah, yeah. Oh, the wheelbarrow a race. This is Gordon Ward fixing the letterbox outside the shop.
Oh,
Typical slow style, you didn't have to hurry anything very much.
yeah.
And someone else could come along and give a bit of an idea and help them, and yeah. his truck with all his bits and pieces on the back.
Oh, he's a carpenter. Or...
I don't know what he was doing. This is my grandfather digging a bit of garden. I think he might have been, I'm not sure where it was. It looks as if it could be at the backyard at Waiuta, but my granddad Thorne, he had, his house was just as you're coming into Waiuta on the right hand side. But I don't think that's there. That's looking next door at Mary Coulson and Harry Coulson, my aunt and uncle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's Dad's sister. She died of TB in the early 1940s, and that's a pop mile from next door on the other side. Yeah.
They're a very popular type of dog, by the look of it.
Yeah, yeah. And they took Pop out with them when they were rabbit shooting because he used to cook their meals. He's getting them. He was a bit deaf, but he used to like going out rabbit shooting, and he used to get the fire going and have everything ready for them when they come back.
Yeah.
There's a bit of snow on the tops there.
Certainly is.
Yeah. Look like the mother lamb and twins.
Shadow on the side of it.
Yeah. There's old Pop Mile with his... We used to make the fires like that, get the real hot embers and throw the potatoes in.
Ah.
And then just leave them there cooking the embers. They've got their tents and he's getting everything ready for them, and they come back and there's a huge row, there you are, of rabbits. They've all been out rabbit shooting
Wow.
and he gets their food ready for them. He was a dear old fella. And Jimmy with the stringing up more rabbits and the old enamel mugs. You know, they
Yeah.
take their enamel mugs and their enamel plates, and he's got a doorstep of a sandwich. That's Jim Young. His gun. They'd been out rabbit shooting as well. I don't know what they did with the rabbits. Whether they just ate them, or what. They didn't worry about TB or anything in those days, did they?
Seem to.
Pop going up to have a wash or something somewhere. Where he's going. Yeah. That's my grandfather, and I'm still not sure where that is. I think that's down South Beach Way, isn't it, Graham? I thought it was down that way, coming up from sort of in Kamara down that way. And this is in Greymouth. That's the old post office building.
Ashby's.
In Ashby's, yeah. That dog snoring its head off. And that's the car we went to Greymouth. That's Mum.
It's a nice looking car too.
Harry Coulson, clearing up. He was a great gardener.
Yeah.
He had a great garden at the back and looked after the yard. But so when you look at the houses and that, you think, oh my gosh, they're, see how all the little boards all just put together, and the old corrugated iron chimney, and most of the houses, the workers' houses, were like that, pretty.
Were these supplied by the mine, or the people build their own?
No, they had to build their own.
Okay.
Excuse me, mine houses were only given to the staff.
Okay.
Like my managers had a house, and there were some houses up at the Prohibition, and they were supplied, but others they had to look after their own. But he had all this area and big garden.
Yeah. So this was during the 30s, did you say?
Yeah, late 30s they'd be because,
They might have had a bit of a rough period.
yeah. Well, it wouldn't be long around the Depression, would it? 1936 onwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Miles girls from next door. Muriel. Oh, I think I might have had a wee bit of a paddy. Yeah. I'm not sure who they all were. Jim Young. More of the racing and that at Waiuta. I don't know, this was round. That's
Huge steps this man had.
yeah, the red huts, the Catholic church coming up, and these are mine houses coming around as he's going around. They're staff members' houses there. They were just that bit nicer than the ordinary workers' houses. The false start. I think that's Jimmy in the middle. And going round the wreck, it would be a race they would have been doing. Yeah. Here's the old chap that was stopping drunk outside. Yeah. He's coming home again and he's a little bit, he wants to go. I love the way he's not going to show that he's drunk or anything like that, but he's going to go up that step, big steps and in. And sort of the swagger says, I made it.
He's leaning up against the wall.
Yeah. That's Winnie Prendergast. And I think one of those is Pat Darby. Doing his washing. Everyone relied on tank water up there, so looked after the... I'm not sure who that is. Children all going up to the swimming baths. School children. Possibly Miss Nimmo, but I'm not terribly sure. Pat Casserly. Kath Kennedy, or Casserly, Kennedy and Darby, I think they're the last names there.
Okay.
All eating an ice cream from the shop. And that's Dad's younger brother, Tom. Tom Thorne. All these ones all had their cigarettes hanging out their mouth, didn't they? Yeah. This is a trip down to Greymouth in the car. And you can still pick out some of the parts of the road. Unsealed, of course. Where's that park, Graham? Kameka. Yeah. You can pick it a wee bit further on, it goes into a Hara. And that's exactly the same as it is now. Yeah, you can pick that quite easily.
They seem to suit the roads, those cars.
Yeah. Dusty road, there you are, no tar seal like now. This is going down and into a Hara. I know I'm wrong, it's not. Not quite, is it, Graham?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to picture the road now.
Yeah, with so many changes. Yeah. Well, this is a Hara, this is going in.
Ah, yes. Right down to the corner there.
Yeah.
That couldn't have been Kameka, that first one then, it must be.
Kameka comes after a Hara, doesn't it? Must have been around.
Well,
Yeah.
flush.
This is coming down by Nelson Creek way, isn't it? In Ahiri. Still had one-way bridges.
Yes, I thought that motorbike was looking a bit dangerous there.
Yeah. Someone pushing their bike up the hill. That's down Matai way, isn't it, Graham?
Well, there was a lot of hills in those days. You went in all those zigzag bits.
Well, you know this part's coming into Greymouth because it hasn't changed. Yeah, the old bridges. They're not there, there's a new bridge there, but...
The power lines have got a lot of arms on them. You know.
Yeah, telephone pole.
Yeah.
It's Mum's brother and their wee boy and his wife. It's Uncle Tom, Auntie's sis.
Alright, the guy who's riding the bike before, was it?
No, this was the other Tom.
Oh, sorry.
I had Toms and Georges on both sides. Yeah. Uncle Bill, Mum. Uncle Bill and me. This would be down in Cobden, I think. Yeah, and the pumpkins and marrows. Putting them all on the rack to dry. Gordon Ward. Uncle Arthur. He'd be one of the ones that played hockey. Uncle Tom, their brothers, and their uncle beside them. It looks like I'm going to get a ride on the bike.
You look like you're a bit of a star then, Francie.
Well, it looks like everybody sort of had a go at looking after me at times and taking me round and yeah. So look, I'm probably about a year, 15 months old there. Yeah. That's my granddad. It's a bit dark, that one. It's taken inside having the meal. It's S.B. Williams, taken in Waiuta. That was before the letterbox was put up too. Yeah. Auntie Ada and Jimmy Robbie again. And they're still running on the wreck.
Yeah. Some strong looking people around those days.
Yeah, they're pretty fit.
Yeah.
You know, that's Dad's shop in the middle of the huts.
Oh.
I don't know who that's Dad's shop there with the storm. Don't know who that is running down the road. But she's not got a bad pace on, has she?
Pretty good, actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's Elsie Stevens. Auntie Ada and Auntie Jean been playing tennis. The greyhounds or the whippets.
Yeah.
There was a whippet track there
Oh, was
in
it?
Waiuta, yes,
Oh.
and they had the whippets, but I don't know who it is with them. Not very big dogs, are they? So I always thought that Auntie Jean and Jimmy Robbie had a bit of a thing going there,
Yeah.
one part of it, but
Yeah.
so he's always there with them. He's just come out with them. Then that's Alan Coulson again, and one of his sisters poking her head through the fence. Mum,
lots of practice.
Yeah, yeah. He was always there with the camera. Yeah. Yours truly again. Having a drink of water or milk or something. Yeah.
All finished.
All gone. The water tank. The old car. Dad. And that's Jimmy fishing. Dad fishing. And Bronzy. Dad with the cigarette hanging out of his mouth too. They all did in those days, didn't
Yes.
they? You caught one too by the look of it. Nice fish. Nice trout. How's it going with
Good.
them? Yeah. And I don't know where that river is. I've got no idea. And
The big stone's probably the Rough River.
could be the Rough, yeah. Not sure on who that is. That's Mrs. Gill, I know that's Mrs. Gill taking the pram up top. Could have given me a hand, Fred. See, that's a different bridge to the other one. This one's got no sides on it.
It's the Rough River, I'd say. The tram lines across it.
Oh, right. Don't know who that is. Oh, this is the cartoon now. I don't know how long.
Was that in the movie?
That was a free. That was a free cartoon. Apparently, sent they'd got with the camera or something. I'm not
okay.
sure. So I always said to Mum, "What on earth are you doing with a cartoon in the middle of it?" And she, "I think you find that came with the."
Yeah. It's quite a good little character.
Have you had a good sleep, Keisha? You made enough noise. Now, I'm not 100% sure that these are Dad's photos,
Yeah.
but it's a slip, I think, on the road. Or, yeah.
It looks like it stopped everybody in their tracks.
Yeah, I know there were slips on the road, but it sort of came into that part there. So, we're back into more chopping again. So it must have been. I know there were numerous slips always on the road. Down, but I love when you look at them. All the men are in suits and hats, and the women are all done up and. It might have been a sports day out, but they were all
That's right.
all done up. Mm. This is Nelson Creek.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Mum saying they had the Irish dancing. Mum's the Irish Dancing Guild doing the dancing is at Nelson Creek. I mean, they used to have sword dancing and everything at all the old sports days.
Yeah.
That's the Irish jig. That would her cloak would have been green. Should have been had the white frock and green. Then they've got the Highland dancing with the pipes. And then we've got them running again. That's my auntie that she used to live in Nelson Creek, so that's George Swinburne. I don't think that's Waiuta nets. They had big fields, didn't they, for the chopping? Like, you know, a lot of them doing the chopping.
Certainly, yeah.
Crowd got round fairly close too.
The axes are going off.
They're all on handicaps by the look of it, because they're all starting at different times. I'm sure this is still Nelson Creek. They don't have anything like sports days like that now, do they?
No.
That could be Blackwater, because that looked a bit like the Blackwater School in the background, didn't it? Just a flash of the Blackwater School. There's the backyard chop. They only had 1 foot on the wood, one on the back.
Oh.
The backyard chop was for people that just were learning, or you know, anyone that wanted to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they couldn't stand on the wood properly, so they just had one at the front, one at the back. We're back out shooting again. Looks like we're in the fog this time.
Wonder. Do you think it's? Oh no, that'd be a whole valley, wouldn't it?
That's the whole valley, yeah. So they're way up above the fog. Claudie Downs, the boys again. What was the age difference between Dougie and Dumney?
That I'm not entirely sure.
He's giggling away there. And a nice chap, Claude Downs. He was a real nice chap. Yeah. They were all proud of their trophies, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's only quite a young one by the look of it.
You wouldn't want to cop one of those in the mouth.
You wouldn't, would you? It's my grandfather, I think, coming across the river. Back up to Tops again. There's looked like a power line there. It didn't look like a power pole. Not that far up.
Church.
Auntie Ada and Uncle George. Jimmy and Auntie Jean.
They're very relaxed, aren't they? And
Yeah.
nice piece of
Yeah.
just
That was before Auntie Ada and Uncle George were married, I'd say. I think 4 of them used to get about together quite a lot. And I don't know whereabouts they were acting the fool there, whether it was our backyard or not.
that's the time at the moment.
1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour 12 at the moment.
Oh, 1 hour 12, right.
So we got 90 minutes on this. You're doing well.
Auntie Ada and Uncle George. Jimmy, Robbie and Auntie Jean. Yeah. Quite risque, weren't they, for then? Yeah. This, I'm sure this is me in my cot. I peep up over. Dad was taking a photo of me asleep, supposedly, and I woke up. Yeah. That looks, I don't know whether that's just the photo or whether it's Frosty.
Yeah.
That's Dad. Someone caught him in the act. They had the belts with all the bullets, you
That's
know,
right.
yeah, around the waist. I think what I think is probably a shame is that Jimmy and Donnie and Dougie never really saw these.
That's right.
You know,
Dad saw on the Ghost Town Ball, but not the whole.
but not the whole lot.
No. And probably Jim as well.
These are my cousins from next door, the Coulsons. That's Mum.
It's a great shot, that one.
Yeah.
They could still.
Mary and the family. I don't know whether that's her, Mary or Janice. That could be Mary.
Is that Fred?
No, that's Harry Coulson.
Ah.
He married Dad's sister.
Okay.
That's her with, yeah, Janice and Mary and Ellen. Or it should be Ellen, Janice and Mary. She died of TB. They went to Christchurch and they had a couple more children, or 3 more over there, and then she died of TB.
Wow.
I'd say the boys and Dad knew all the area around the back of Ikamatua,
Yes.
up round Hookerary. You know, probably some of them at the back of Boggawalla too. All up round there went shooting.
I think they absolutely loved the bush, whether they were shooting or not.
Well, that's right. Get away for a weekend was a real treat. I'm going to clean the car out.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Looks like that Mrs. Mile, I think. Jim Young.
A lot of wood there.
Mm. Well, they didn't have coal in the fires there, it was all wood.
Was it?
Yeah. They were our neighbours there, Pop Mile, and I've got a painting taken out of the Waiuta book that my family got done for my 60th birthday, and it's the house I was born in, and it's right next door to this one here. That's where they were. Flying a kite. Mum, Margaret, Mrs. Robbie, Mummy Robbie.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're the rabbit shooters. Yeah, because that's Bartlett again.
I guess there must have been some way for him to look at his films afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know how he would have seen them.
If they went at the school or something like that. Where they,
I don't know. Because to my knowledge, he didn't have a projector. I don't know.
Yeah. In those days, you'd have to send them away. I think
You'd
they
have
used
to
go
send
a-
them away to be processed and done.
Yeah. Well, even when I was doing, they had to go to Australia, so I don't know
Yeah.
what they did in those days, but
Perhaps, like the Mick Brett had films and Keith Kent had films, perhaps one of them had a projector and Dad could have seen them off that. I know Mick Brett was well into films.
yeah.
That's my granddad. That's Dad's dad. That's Granddad Thorne.
Is he?
Mm. Yeah. George Swinburne and Jimmy Robbie. Auntie Jean and Auntie Ada.
These are on your mum's side, Ada and Jean?
Yeah, Auntie Ada and Auntie Jean and Mum's sisters. This is the wedding. The wedding we talk about in Waiuta. It was Pat Kennedy and Cassidy wedding.
Okay.
And at the time of the Waiuta reunion, we'd shown the film and we asked if anybody could remember the wedding and who about it. And no, nobody gave us any idea, any inclination.
Yeah.
And it wasn't till we showed the Ghost Town Ball that Peter, my son-in-law, he come and got me and he said, I got a woman out before you, she's absolutely breaking her heart. And it was her mother and father's film. And one of the women that a bridesmaid, and not, that's the bride and the groom,
Yeah.
that one,
Yeah.
she'd been at the reunion and never seen the photo, never saw the movie, and she could have told us all about the wedding.
Ah.
And here this other woman had brought it there, and we shown her mother and father's wedding. She'd never seen it before.
Wow.
She was breaking her heart, absolutely breaking her heart over it.
Amazing.
Yes, and So this would have been probably about 1937 38, because it shows Mrs. Ward nursing a baby, and that baby is Robin, and she was the same age as I was.
Oh, okay.
So we're sort of just doing a bit of a guess that all these people came down to the institute rooms, and that's where they had the wedding reception.
It's like a big event.
Oh, look, they're all done up in their, look at, they're all done up in their Sunday best, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Mrs. Connors and Mrs. Ward and Mrs. Rose, some of the ones I remember.
Yeah.
And the Anglican church in the background.
Okay.
Mrs. Ward on the left, Mrs. Rose. Yeah. I'm not sure on some of those others. And that's the baby that they're holding, and I'm sure that's Robin. That's Mrs. Ward holding Robin, and she's about the same age as I am. So that's how we're sort of picking that. That's they're eating trifle. I think this is gorgeous. Trifle must have been good, eh?
That's right.
She's not going to have, Mrs. Rose is not going to have any now without Connors and Mrs. Ward. They were two hard shots, those two. Yeah.
What's that? See what happened.
The old poppet heads at the Waiuta mine, and by the look of them that's after 1950, because the wood was all off the poppet head. I'm not quite sure who the family are, but I've got an idea that they're some of the Hempsteads, Keith and Agnes Kent. I think it might be some of their movies. And they're going around Waiuta, and this is after the mine is finished, looking round at some of the houses still there. Or it might have been round the time just before. You can see that a lot of the red huts have gone. You know, that's definitely after the mine is finished. And that's the south shaft, as the mine building's gone. That old shed's still there. Looking back out down from the Prohibition, I think, down towards the Grey Valley. Going round some of the Prohibition or South Shaft. I think that's the South Shaft.
Any idea, Francie, when this would have been taken?
Well, it's got to be after 1951.
Is it?
That's one of the pro there.
Was that the Pro, was it? Okay. That's looking down into Waiuta. Waiuta finished in July 1951. And I think that could be Agnes Hempstead and her family. Because Agnes's husband, Keith Kent, he took a lot of old movies. I think some of these are his own personal ones. They're not of Waiuta.
Okay.
They're tramping somewhere. Can't find any recognition in here, although that looks like the hospital.
Yes, doesn't it?
Yes, that's probably why they've been up Waiuta under snow.
Do you think it got snow like this quite often? Every year or just?
Oh, we'd sometimes have the snow. We used to have some great frosts, very, very heavy frost, but beautiful clear days. So it could have been wrong before that, could have been Top Road.
Yeah.
This could be going around Top Road, a bit unrecognisable with the snow. And I would say the family have come back up on a, yes. That looks up at the Prohibition Graham, doesn't it?
Real wheels on it there, aren't they? Oh, it's that in the bottom there.
Yeah, that's the south shaft because that's a chimney.
Doug took us up on a nice, Doug Robbie took us up on a nice trip up there one time and showed us all around and
Yes.
told us all about that area. It was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
So did you continue to live in Waiuta after your dad died?
Yes, we stayed there till Waiuta finished.
Did you?
I often said to Mum, why did you stay in Waiuta? And if you think of it, when Dad died in 1943, it was war years, and she said, where else would I have gone? And I had wonderful support from everybody. And it wasn't till the mine closed that she decided that, you know, she had to make that move then, and we came up to Reefton. These are definitely, I'm sure, Keith Kent's. This shows the miners going down in the cages down to work down below. And these are the buckets that went across the town down to the battery at the Snowy Battery.
Was that the battery there?
Yeah, and this is the Joker, our horse bringing the quartz out, and that's part way down the Snowy Battery track where that came out. Yeah. Looking at these boxes, they haven't changed with the ones coming down from the globe, the shape, have they, Graham?
No, they look a bit similar.
The trucks bringing the gold stuff down from the globe look exactly the same shape. And these would be Keith Kent's. He was the electrician at the mine. And these now are causing big problems. Cyanide tanks are still down the Snowy Battery and up at the Prohibition, and they are classed as some of the two most poisonous places in New Zealand.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And still what they're going to do about it, we don't know. After all these years, it's still nothing's
Did
changed.
many people experience getting sick from the...
Well, not really, but it's just that but now this has been told, so
Yeah.
this is making the nuggets or the ingots. Gold, wouldn't mind one of them at today's prices.
That's right. Where that horse was coming out, where was that?
They called it the Joker.
Joker.
It was halfway down the battery track. There was,
Oh, I see.
yeah.
So it was coming from the mine though? Oh, okay.
Apparently they didn't pull the ore right to the top, the south shaft.
Oh, I
They
see.
just put it up to the Joker level and took it out with the horse and then down to the battery.
Okay.
And any stuff that didn't have gold in it, of course, came right to the top.
Yeah.
And that's why it was dumped in that dump at the top.
The mullock heap, we call it the mullock.
Oh, yes.
Great old workings, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
That's not
Spectacular amount of building and...
up at the Pro, that one.
Yeah.
With electric motors.
Gold.
It's so used to pouring that it looks like a cup of coffee, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No spillage.
And Watty Lyons said he used to take the gold in saddlebags on his motorbike and bring it up to Reefton.
Is that right?
Yeah. This is probably after a lot of the buildings had gone by the look of it. It was amazing, they just sort of shifted the town in a way. But this is the dredge, isn't it, Graham? It goes on to the dredge. This is building the dredge, one of the dredges from down country.
Oh, yes.
Don't ask me which one or what. I don't know.
They were pretty big sort of constructions, weren't they?
Yeah. See, there was the one over the Caribou from Blackwater.
The big grey, that one.
And then there was the big grey, yeah. And they were all made of metal, weren't they?
They seem to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
bolted together and just float.
No wonder they floated if they were so heavy.
Oh, big pontoons.
Mm. Oh, snoring your head up, you dog.
I was looking at this. Are they draining all of the, clearing all of the land to get at the soil?
Possibly taking the logs off.
Oh,
Trees
okay.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must be the big grey.
'Cause I saw that. And there's a tremendous amount of logs and things.
Yeah. Well, it'd be all bush, I would say.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
When we were in Canada and we saw all the logs coming down the, down the river, down to, I suppose, to the mill, wherever they were going to get them. And they did the dredging there, and then they've gone back over a lot of the ground again and got more gold
Have they?
with more modern dredging, haven't they, Graham?
Yeah, not so much as where that one was. It dug pretty deep.
Yeah.
But some of the smaller ones didn't get down so deep.
Mm.
It's for drilling, yeah. It's just drilling.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where this is. Do you, Graham, any idea?
No idea at all.
Curtis and Party's mine on the sea coast. It's out on the coast road then, isn't it? Up Westport way, isn't it?
Well, it had nothing to do with gold.
Hmm.
Something else.
It looked fairly steep where it was,
Yeah.
like there down to the sea.
Looks a bit like up Denniston way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like that's climbing quite high, isn't it? Whew.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Hmm. Do you reckon that'd be Denniston, Graham?
Oh, I've got no idea, but it could be.
There were some trucks coming down that looked a bit that way,
Yeah.
but
Unless it's road. I don't know what the travel on there was like. Oh, looking cold, isn't it? Oh, it could be. That's what you're not supposed to do.
yeah,
Stand on the back of it.
they certainly rattle along pretty quickly, don't they?
Like that's nothing's got a name on it, has it? What's the?
Look at the track, it's
Yeah.
a beauty.
Going back a few days.
Yeah.
And then there's a train. Nothing looks familiar, does it?
No.
Would it be Rewanui up there?
Well, it could be, but
Because one's pulling the,
Yeah,
one going down's pulling the other up, isn't it?
Sometime they had one apron in there, but there's a centre rail there too. The centre rail used the steam engines and they had drive wheels in them,
Oh, yes.
gripping the rail and then for braking.
Yeah.
It is a Rewanui, negotiating the Rewanui.
Where is that?
Yeah, Greymouth, beyond, at Blackpool, Greymouth Way.
Oh, okay.
So that's the centre rail there that gave them grip for the train.
They're just strong looking horses, aren't they?
Mm.
Have to be, I suppose.
That'll be coming out of the mine itself, I'd say. Very key.
Gee, you won't see those colliers there doing that now.
Looks a very, very busy place.
Looks a busy port there, so you're probably looking at the 40s and 50s, aren't you? Well, perhaps not so much the 40s, but oh, now that, this here, I think is the Waiuta hall burning down.
Is it?
Now, I'm saying I think because I can vaguely remember that. We lived opposite. Yeah, that's the hall, all right.
Is it?
There was a bring and buy or a bazaar night or something, Mum said that night, on a Saturday night, and that night it burnt down, and I won a little wheelbarrow in a raffle. And I can just vaguely remember looking out of the window at home and seeing the, you know, straight opposite up on the top road, seeing the flames.
Good. It was a fairly fierce looking place.
Yeah.
It looks a bit of, like it was a bit of wind or something.
Yeah, but there was,
Putting
it was all wooden building, you know.
It's interesting because somebody must have been there, right there to film that. You know?
Yeah, it's Keith Kent's, I'm sure that's... we had, yeah, that's looking up at the mine houses, the better houses.
Yeah.
We had a Basil Hempseed, a Robert Hempseed came to our Friends Waiuta meeting last November in Waiuta, and he bought the fob watch that belonged to old Mr. Hempseed, and he let us hold it, and I said, oh, it's beautiful. He says, yes, it's valued at $8,000.
Wow.
Hempseed's had the store and petrol and,
Oh.
yeah.
Very classy pair of pants.
Thought you can.
Not sure where that is because it looks like a hospital. Well, it's there, and that's not Waiuta.
Yeah. wondered if it was Hokitika, but it might not be. It could be anywhere.
To me, it looked a bit like the Karatani nurse, the way they used to have their things on the back, the way she did, or else dental nursing.
Oh, okay.
Looks like the water pipeline. This is the battery again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, this is where Jack McEwen was.
Yeah, imagine how they got all that. I remember that little bridge going across the river, but we used to go across that to go up the other side to go out to Robbie's.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pipeline, the water pipeline, we used to follow that out. You know how they got all the concrete down there to build that building?
Yes. Huge place.
What's the truck, Graham?
Not quite sure what it is.
There used to be people who used to live down there. There were 2 or 3 houses there.
Were they?
Yeah. Up until they built the one up top, the courts used to go across the town on a skyline thing. There wasn't Graham, aerial right yeah. And it shows that in still photos on the Ghost Town wall.
Oh, okay.
That's some of the houses that used to be down there. Yeah.
That was put in until they got the battery built up with the Prohibition. Once it was built on the right way, it was redundant then.
Oh, okay.
And the battery
The
was.
bottom battery and went into the top one.
Yeah.
And that, I think, would began the water race. It used to go out to Robbie's. We used to just go up, follow it up.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Swaps around a bit.
This is at the South Shaft. Is that the powerhouse, Graham? Was that the old powerhouse, or?
Maybe I didn't catch that.
That's it.
Yeah, that's probably the powerhouse.
That's
yeah,
the old, that was around. That was at Hookawai, wasn't it?
That's
Yeah. Snow again. We must have had a bit of snow at times.
Yeah. I imagine those houses would have taken a bit of heating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
There would be
never.
a lot of insulation.
Not at all, no.
No.
I mean, you had the wood, and then you had scrim newspaper. They'd put newspaper, and then they'd put the scrim, and then they'd put wallpaper.
Yeah. Suppose you had nice firewood though.
We had manuka.
Yeah.
A lot of manuka. That's South Shaft. Hempseed store. Looking across to the Mullock Heap. And the bowling green and the offices and over the offices and that. Yeah. That was up what we call Nobbs Hill, where the better houses were. That's
Okay.
where that's the post office and Hempstead store. You got to remember that it was an English town, like the owners were in England, so it was quite an English system of salary and wage earners. There was staff and workers,
Yep.
and they had staff bowling green, staff tennis courts, workers bowling green, workers tennis courts.
Okay. So they were the owners because they owned the mine?
Yeah, Blackwater's consolidated.
Okay.
Someone having a parachute down or something coming down. Bit of wood, bit of tin, is it?
Yeah, I think they're dismantling it.
I think that's when they took the top of the chimney. They lowered it one part. They put a scaffold up to do it.
What was all the wood? Did they use that on the fire, on the furnace?
Which would,
Well, there's seems a lot of wood packed out at the front.
oh, I never looked
Have you heard a dog snore like that?
at it. Oh, there's a bit of stuff there.
I was quite impressed watching this before, how these logs swing around.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
That's
amazingly,
what you
the truck hasn't got a dent in the top of the cab.
Mm.
It's quite, quite something.
You know, wouldn't Osh have a fit?
That was the way they come up anyway. Oof.
Is that snigging the logs? I can remember them talking about snigging the logs along.
It's just loading it with a crane. Or a spar or whatever.
Good looking logs.
Yeah.
He's back to the fire again.
I imagine that whoever's put them together is just spliced, you know.
Yes.
with the head.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've
they-
been just
they
looking on
haven't-
films and
yeah.
stuff like that.
They haven't sort of known the series of them, perhaps, to...
Might be more of a just a conservation, you know, get them all linked
Yeah.
up together.
Yeah.